Welcome to another episode. We go back into our TMUX session here. So today we're going to be working on a couple of things. Well, so the thing we know we need to work on is the accurate scores for our high score table. So when you play the game and you reach the end of the game, if you have a high score that is better than one of the high scores, you're given the chance to input your name as the winner. So right now, for testing purposes, we have the scores being set from anywhere between 255 to 200, but that's just one egg. So what we want to do is make it so that these scores make sense in terms of achieving a high score. So we're going to be like, let's say here we know there's 25 waves we got in the game, right? And we know there's 10 high scores. So if we make it so that if you get to wave 20 with the base amount of high score, like you killed all the vultures and you collected all their eggs before they hatched and incremented their level, that should be a high score. So if we decide that, so that means that every score should be an alternate of 2 for our high scores. So writing them down here, like 2 should be the first one. I'm writing this down here. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not quite right. Okay. So we're gonna make it so that we're trying to make it so that let's just do this, where every 2 waves, if you get the minimum amount of points that you would get on the leaderboard. So if someone like whoever's watching the stream would download this game on my GitHub and then get the minimum amount of points to clear wave 2, they would automatically make it onto the 10th score of our leaderboard. Is that fair? Maybe because at that point, becoming the number 1 would mean you'd have to clear 16 waves. So in my eyes, we can kind of do it one of 2 ways. Either you get number 1 for clearing the 16th wave, or you can only get number 1 if you clear all 25 waves. And that's assuming like the minimum score, right? So like if you don't let any of the vultures hatch so that they upgrade into a higher tier enemy and then you kill them for more points, it's just like the minimum base. So I say for now, let's just do this. Like we'll calculate all the scores from starting on wave 2, alternating every waves, and then once we get up to wave 16, that would be a player 1 type of score. So let's calculate what that might look like. So let's calculate that, because right now, so we've got every score being JDH, which stands for James Donovan Halliday from Ready Player One, because it's a long story short, but I started making this game before I read Ready Player One. I liked the movie, but Ready Player One kind of inspired me to add the 2-player mode, because in Ready Player One, the book, in order to get the copper key, you have to beat Anorak at a game of Joust, which is the creator of the oasis, right? So I just like the idea that you have to beat James Donovan Halliday in this game in order to get the high score. So let's calculate what that costs. So like if you get to wave 17, which is, I think the highest wave I've gotten to on Joust is probably like 8 or 9, if I'm being honest. You can get the high score if you get to wave 16. So let's go ahead and calculate that. So we've got in our thing here, we've got unseating and bounders. So bounder is 500, right? Hunter is 750, okay? And then Shadow Lord is 1500. And then the eggs. First egg, second egg, third egg, fourth egg plus. Okay. So egg 1 is going to be 250, and then it's going to be 500, and then egg 3 is going to be 750, and fourth egg and on, which is egg 4 plus, is going to be 1,000. So that'll give us the kind of baseline for what points we need to get to upgrade our wave. Okay, so now we need to go into our play state, and we need to find what our spawns are for each wave. So we'll go into wave 1. So wave 1 is enemy objects, a total of 3. And if we look here, we spawn enemies. Well, we spawn a total of what, 4 enemies? They're all bounders. How do we know that? What is the line of code? That's wave 3, wave 1. Okay, so we have a total of 3 enemy objects, right? We spawn vultures. We spawn enemies, enemy objects. Let's take a look at our spawn enemies function and see if we go into a spawn enemies function, and actually I think this is totally different. I think if we go to spawn enemies, we'll see that we give a zone amount. So an enemy amount, then a zone amount. Okay, so if we clear that and we go, okay, so enemy objects, so we know we got a 3, and then a spawn amount 4. What does that mean? What does it mean to have spawn? Let's see, spawn enemies. Okay, a zone amount. So what are we doing with the zone amount? So the zone amount is being the factor of which we do a math.random for our vulture spawn point index. Okay, so our spawn amount, or our zone amount, which is the second parameter, is just saying, hey, are there 4 spawn zone points to choose from to spawn our enemies, or is there less? So we're going to be saying, and where do we say that they're tier 1? You know, that's what I'm kind of curious about. If we go into our search and say, hey, wave is equal to 1, we know we're doing a total of we know we're doing a total of 3 enemy objects, right? But we're saying, okay, for our enemy objects, we're going to instantiate there. Where do we do the tiers? We don't really do, I don't see where we're doing the tiers. I don't really see where we're adjusting the tiers of what we're spawning. So maybe that's in our vulture class here. So see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parameters here in our vulture class. Let's see what our vulture class consists of. And it's a width height index platform spawn, and it's not a tier system. So where do we decide the tier system? If we do a search for dot tier, we do that. Okay. And we start as tier 1. I don't know where we're doing. Oh, there, we override it. Okay. So if you look here, after we spawn enemies, that's where we instantiate whatever tier the subsequent later enemies need to be at. So maybe we this will give us a clue on how many points we need for a minimum. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna write on my cheat sheet here what value we need our high scores to be. Okay, and then we'll go, we don't change a tier as far as I can tell until wave 8, because it's after our spawn enemies function, which we're not really changing for the first handful of waves. Okay, so wave 1, the thing is, we want to figure out what a wave 2 amount of points is. So that would require wave 1 plus wave 2. So wave 1 is 3 enemies, all bounders. So that would mean 500 times 3, which is 1500, plus all of our egg catches. And eggs are worth how much? Eggs are worth 250, then 500, then 750. So that would be a total of 1,500 again for that first round. So 3,000 is the first round. Now, round 2 is 4 enemy objects, and those are all going to be bounders. So 500 times 4 is going to be 2,000 points, plus 4 eggs, which is going to be a 1,750. Okay, so that's turning into 3,750 plus our wave 1. So that's 6,750 in order to be on round 10 to get the 10th place, right? So 6,750 is 10th place. So let's say that those were the first round. So we need, in terms of the 3 and 4 round, we can calculate that, and that'll be equal to 9th place. So let's calculate 3 and 4. And 3 is 5 enemy objects, all at bounder. So that's 5 times 500, which is 2,500, plus 250 per egg. So that's 5 times 250, which is 1,250. So 1,250 plus 2,500 plus 1,250 gets us a certain amount, and then times 4, which is the same thing, because it's 5 enemy objects, not tier upgraded, plus the 5 eggs. So that gives us a total of 3,750 times 2 to be the 9th place score. So that turns out into being what? But that needs to be added to the previous. So 7,000. I need a freaking calculator for this. So we need a calculator for 3,750 times 2 gets us 7,500 plus our initial 6,750 to be 14,250. Does that sound right for player 10 or for place 10? 14,250. Let's just see if that is sounding right. So 14,000, we need to score as a one player, 14,250 to get onto the 9th place leaderboard. So let's see if that's reasonable. So like we'll try our best here with 5 lives, right? And we've played the game before, so we should be okay. And in order to get 9th place here, it should be to clear wave 4 with the minimum amount of problems. So we cleared wave 1, that's 6,000. That's a little different than what I've calculated, but let's keep going. 6,000 is wave 1. You bitch. Okay. 250 for the egg. Okay, so we're at this rate, I thought 7,007. God damn it. Fucking shit. Okay. I thought 6,750 was going to be a wave 2. And it's really 12,50. Wow. Is there really that many? You know what? Maybe we do it just not the eggs amount, because the lava, they'll fall in the lava. We should just kind of do the base amount, right? So like whatever it takes to kill a bounder. Oh, dude, don't tell me. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I thought that getting to wave 4, killing all the vultures you can, would be 14,250. We're already at 19,000 and we're not even done with wave 4, so we're completely off. And we died in wave 4, so there's that. You know what? Let's just be really simple about this, and we'll have it so that in order to get 10th place, you need to kill everyone in wave 1, regardless of eggs. In order to get 9th place, kill everyone in wave 2. And then we'll see how realistic it is to get a score of a wave 10. Because right now, we got on the leaderboard, and that's just because the highest leaderboard is 255, which is kind of ridiculous. That's just 1 egg plus some change. So it's a little ridiculous that we have to do that. So what we're going to do is go into our high score save file, and we're just going to go ahead and delete this save file so that we instantiate a new score file with the default values, which we say in our play state here. So we're going to say, yeah, we're going to redo this. So like, let's say we've got 1 through 10th place, right? Okay. So let's see what's in our wave 1. And it's 3 enemy objects, and bounders are worth 500, so that's a 1,500. Gets us right here into our 10th place. So if you get 1,500, you're on the leaderboard. Is that fair? Or do we do plus the eggs as well? Yeah. It's so tough to say because it's like, how hard do we want to be about this? Let's just multiply the eggs by the default first egg amount, because right now it's every egg is worth 250 more than the previous egg, up to 1,000. So if there's 3 bounders, let's just say 3 times 250, that gets added to the unseeding bounder. So it still gives a little leeway. If you let them hatch and then kill them at the higher round, you'll get more points. So we'll say, since it's 3 bounders, it's going to be 1,500 plus our 250 times 3, so plus 750. So that's going to be equal to a total of 2,250. 2,250 is our 10th place score. Okay, so next, we're going to say our next wave is going to get the next one, right? So our next wave is a wave 2, and that is a 4 enemy objects, all bounders. So that's going to be a total of 1,750 plus 1,000 worth of eggs, because they're 250 each times 4. So that's going to be an extra 2,750 plus our 2,250 from before. So that is what? 4,000, 5,000. It's just 5,000 even. Okay. So 5,000 even gets you ninth place on the leaderboard. That sounds fair. And then wave 3 is 5 enemy objects, and the tier system is just all bounders. So 5 times, what is it? 5 times 500, which is 2,500, plus 5 times the egg amount, which is, egg amount is 250 each, so that's 1,250. So that gives us a total of 3,750 plus our 5,000 from the past wave. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That means in order to get 8th place, we need 8,750 points. Okay? Next round, wave 4, which is a total of 5 objects, all bounders. So the same exact thing. It's going to be 2,500 for all the unseeding bounders, plus the 5 eggs, which is 1,250 points, gets us 3,750 plus 8,750 from the previous round. So I'm at the point where I need to use a calculator. Okay. And we have 3 minutes to commit before we lose our streak. Let's go to our high score state real quick. And we'll put in these values that we've got. So 10th place is a 2,250, right? So 2,250. 9th place is a 5,000. And we're trying to commit before midnight so that we have room so we can keep our streak on our GitHub, is what we're really doing. So we're going to write this out, which is written, and then we're going to say add everything in the staging area with a commit message saying added correct bottom 3 scores to a high score state. And we're going to push it so that we meet our before midnight get push, because we're trying to keep a streak going here. And then what we're going to do is go back into our NVIM, go back into our play state, go back into a wave 6 so we can calculate what that is. And that is a total of 7 enemies, and they are all bounders as far as I can tell. So 7 enemies at 500 a pop. So 7 times 500, that gives us 3,500 plus 7 times the amount of egg, which is 250. So 7 times that egg is 1750. Is that right? So 3,500 plus 1750. Let's see what that is. 3,500 plus 1750 gives us 5,250 plus. Shit, and we didn't do. Okay, we got to do our previous round for wave 7. So that's 3,750 plus 8,750 gives us 12,500 for our 7th place spot on the leaderboard. For our 6th place on the leaderboard, we're going to do 5,250 plus our 12,500. That gives us a 17,750 on our leaderboard. So let's go ahead and add those to our high score state here real quick. And we'll go to high scores, and we'll put it right here. We've got our 7th score, which is 12,500. So we go 12,500. And then our 6th score, which is 17,750. So we've only got places 5 through 1 to finish now. So let's go ahead and go back to our play state, and we're going on our wave 7. Let me count this out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on wave 6. Yeah, okay. So we're kind of calculating the top number 1 score would be if you get the minimum amount of score on beating 10 waves worth of enemies. So 5th place on the leaderboard would be beating 6 waves. So our 6 waves is 7 items. I'm going to just double check that our 5th wave is 7 items as well. Yes, it is. Okay. So it's the same thing. And we aren't changing tiers yet, so it should be the same exact thing. 7 times 500 for unseating bounders gives us a 3,500 plus 1,750 for all the eggs of the bounders gives us 5,250 plus our previous amount of 17,750. So we're going to be 17,750 plus our 5,250 gives us 23,000 in our 5th place on the leaderboard. 23,000. Okay, so let's go to our 7th wave, which is 7 enemy objects, and we still don't have a tier upgrade. Where do we get the tier upgrades? Right there in wave 9. Okay. So wave 7 is a 7 enemy objects, so that's the same amount. 7 times 500 gets 3,500, plus our 1,750 worth of eggs gives us a 5,250 plus our 23,000. So 23,000 points plus our 5,250 for that next wave gets us a 28,250 in order to get 7th or 4th place on the leaderboard. Is that fair? I don't think I've ever gotten 28,000, so probably fair, right? I think it's okay. I mean, because in Ready Player One, you know, in order to get the copper key, you got to beat Anorak, and Anorak's no slouch. Took Artemis of all people months of trying. You know, I mean, Wade is a nerd because he had to beat H at it. But if Artemis took a couple of months to beat Anorak, maybe getting to wave 10 is the equivalent of that. Maybe it's more, because I mean they're badass gamers, right? So let's see. Wave 8. 7 enemy objects, and we've got 2 tier upgrades. So let's do 5. It's 5 times 500, which gives us a 25,000, plus 5 times 250, which is 5 times 250 gives us 1250. So plus our 2500 gives us a 3,750 plus the 2 upgraded tiers. So our 2 upgraded tiers, 750 times 2, because it's 2 hunters, 750 times 2, that's 1,500, plus an extra 500, so that's 2,000. So plus 2,000 onto our 3,750. That means it's 5,250 plus our previous score. That doesn't seem right. Now we've got 7 items, 5, okay. We've got 7 items, enemies. Why is that the same amount? Oh, because we didn't add the eggs. So 5,250 plus 7 amount of eggs. Okay, we're gonna redo this. We added the eggs there. Okay, then. Okay, we're gonna redo this real quick because we need to figure out what the extra eggs are cost. So for a hunter is 750. So 750 times 2 gives us 1,500 plus 2 eggs at our 500 point. That gives us 2,000. So we're gonna have 3,750 plus 2,000. That's the same freaking logic I already did. It was a 5,000. So let's just go for it. So we're gonna say that our wave, or our place 3 is gonna be our place 4, which is 28,250 plus a 5,250, giving us a 33,500 for our place 3. So let's go for our place 2. So we're going to go to wave 10. Now wave 10 is 7 objects. 7 objects. No tier upgrades, I guess. So it's going to be 7 times 500. So 7 times 500, which gets 3,500 plus 1,750 worth of eggs, gives us a 5,250 amount of points. So it'll be 33,500 plus our 5,250, which is a total of 38,750 points. Okay. And then player 1, let me see this. If we're going to be getting player 1, so 1 is 10, 2 is 9, 3 is 8, 4 is 7, 5 is 6, 6 is 5, 7 is 4, 8 is 3, 9 is 2, 10 is 1. So why are we at 10th place and still at the wrong value? I'm not exactly sure. Let's just keep going. So we're gonna say 7 enemy objects, and we got 2 tier upgrades. Okay, so we need 5 times 500 for all the bounders, which gives us a 2,500 points plus a 1,250 for all the eggs. And then that gives us 3,750 plus our next 2 tier upgrades. So our next 2 tier upgrades are Hunter at 750 a pop, so that becomes 1,500 plus 500, So that becomes 2,000 more. So that becomes 5,750. That's the difference plus our previous score. So we're going to say 38,750 plus our 5,750. Okay, 38,750 plus our 5,750 points gets us a 44,500 points for player 1. Why don't we make it an even 50,000? It's a little too clean, I guess. But we can go ahead and say, we can go ahead and just see what that looks like. So if we go to high score state, 17,750, then we have 23,000 here. So 23,000. Then we have 28,000. So 28,000. And then we have 33,500. So we have 33,500. Then we have 44,000. Where did we mess up? 25. Oh, we 10, 9, 8 is that. We already messed up. 10 should be that. 9 should be that. 10 should be that. 9 should be that. 8 should be that. 12, 7, 8, 23, 44. We're missing a score here. What is going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 scores. We know player 1 wants to be 38,750. And then we know, actually, yeah, it's actually 44. Okay, so we say 44,500 is number 1. Number 2 is our 38,750. And then we can leave this one as 28,250. Okay, and then 23, and then 17. Okay. So, ideally, if a player is able to beat the first 10 waves, they would get number 1 on the leaderboard. Now, I haven't been able to do that. Like, let's try our best here. Let's try our absolute best to get 10 waves here. So, we kind of unluckily made all bounders go on the 10th, on the top row here. Okay. Fucker. Excuse me. I sneezed. Don't hatch. Okay. Don't. If I die on the freaking first wave, I swear to God. Oh, dude. Okay. So look, we're at 3,000 or 5,200, which gets us on the 9th place leaderboard, which I don't necessarily agree with. We might need to scoot all those up. I don't know how those are different. I think it's because, oh, you know, I know why it is. It's because we're calculating our eggs based on only first egg pickups when you actually get 250 more points per egg, depending on how many you get. So that's not right. So at the end of wave 2 here, we have 12,750, which gets us 6th place on the leaderboard. So that's not exactly perfect. Oh shit. Okay, so we got 13,250, which should put us at 7th place on the leaderboard. So let's put in Cat. And Cat is 7th place on the leaderboard. Is that fair? 3 rounds for being 7th place. Is that about fair? I'm not sure. I don't know if I should reconfigure this. What's up, programmer? I'm kind of feeling like wave 3 isn't good enough to be 7th on the leaderboard, right? So maybe we just scoot everything up just a bit. Let's go back to our yeah, I feel like this should be 5,000. So yeah, programmer, this is a 1982 Williams Electronics game, arcade game called Joust. So I've been rebuilding it in Love 2D in Lua. It's been a year and a half or so since I've been working on this, so I'm thinking I'm about 3 days away from finishing this game. One of the last things I'm doing here is finishing the high score implementation for how much is relevant as a high score. So I think I just need to tweak a couple of things. Like we just need to scoot up everything just a bit in terms of scores, because I don't think getting 8,000 like I just got is worthy of a 7th place score. So I'm just kind of tweaking the scores so that it's not so easy to get so high up on the leaderboard. So 2750, 17,750, and then 23,000, and then 28. Okay, so 23,000, 28,250. What is there an end? I mean, I'm hoping to finish in 3 days. So I've got 23 or 25 waves of this game, at which point, if you beat all 25 waves, you will definitely get #1 score, and that'll be #1 on the leaderboard, unless you have gotten to 25 in the past. But yes, I'm about to be finished on this game and working on my next game, which I'm excited to share with y'all once I get to 38,750. And then 44,500, and then let's just say 50,000 is the top score. Okay, so we're gonna try, come on, 52. There we go. We just need to fix this little thing and then... Oh, come on. Wait, 56. 87. I don't see how that's wrong, actually. Right there. So, we're just testing the high score. So, like, I'm going to try my best to get a decent high score here. And we'll see where that puts me. I got the double egg bonus there, which is cool. The thing that killed us in the past was the pterodactyl. Oh, come on. Trying to get a decent score to see if we can get wave 8 or place 8 or place 9 here. Oh, dude, we're already on our second to last life. So one thing I do want to check is in the original if we get a bonus life for getting X amount of points. Like every 10,000 points is a bonus life, because I just lost at 6,000. So if we look at that, we made it on the leaderboard, but let's see, B. We made it to 10th place. So that's about, I guess that's about fair. Like 10th place to be on the 10th leaderboard. I guess that's fair, because it's like we don't want to discourage. I mean, I've been making this game for 2 years, and I tried to do good, and I got 10th place. So I don't know how to block this weird chat. That is spam, but we're gonna see. I think I'm okay with this. I think, you know what? Let's just arbitrarily change it to 62500, 6250, and then are we okay with that? If we take a look at our notes here, we've got add appropriate high scores for wave achievements, which we just did. I mean, they're arbitrary and they're probably wrong because I programmed them not so correctly, but we got them there and they feel decent. So like, I guess we should test the original and make sure that in an egg wave, like wave 5, which I didn't even make it to, if in an egg wave, if you die, if that makes a respawn, or if it just advances the wave. So maybe we'll go ahead and see that. So I found of a website. You just type in Joust Arcade and you can go play Joust right here in PHP. Isn't that cool? So let's try it. Okay, so this is what I've been remaking. It's a little laggy, probably because I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's really laggy actually, but we got the egg bonus. It's really laggy. It's like super laggy. It's like almost unplayable laggy. Oh my god. Oh, I don't know how I killed that dude. Oh! I'm not sure there's anything that makes me more scared than the freaking pterodactyl in this game. It's really laggy, probably because I'm recording and streaming in OBS plus interactive background. Oh my god. Dude, we're not gonna make it to wave 5. We're not gonna be able to see what the fuck happens in wave 5 because I'm just dead. I'm just dead. I'm already at 0 lives. And actually, we're able to live with 0 lives. I think in my game, the second you hit 0 lives, you're dead. But you're on your last life, you have 0 lives left over. So maybe we change that to be more like the original. Oh my god, no, 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 no. Yes, get fucked by the law! Okay. We got 8,250. Which makes what? 8,250, which makes or what? We'll see in here if we go to our high score. 8,250 maybe is good enough to get. It's enough to get on the leaderboard. So that's kind of encouraging, because I want people to be able to download this and then possibly get on a leaderboard if they do decent. So we'll have that. Okay. Is there anything else we can do today? It's already 12:30. Let's check our notes. So we've got add appropriate high scores, which we just did. Add pause for egg placement, so egg wave text first, then egg placement. Okay. Functionalize egg wave spawns. Tweak player to vulture top collision to jump a little less high. Tweak player to vulture. You know, I think we should change that, because last time I played it, that was a little bit of a hindrance. So let's go to our ostrich bottom collides with the vulture and remix our DY just a little bit less. So let's go, if we go into our ostrich and if we go into an ostrich collides with vulture. So let's see. It might be in our play state. Really? I'm looking for our bottom collisions in our ostrich, which I don't know how to find. Is it? I thought it would be here in collides. Collide? No. Not in our play state under collide. Collide. No, it's not a command. Oh, it's a search. So search for collides. Okay, so we're looking for an ostrich to vulture collision. There's only one. Okay, well, we'll look in our ostrich class and we'll search for collides. We really don't find it. I know this is in here somewhere. I know this is in here. Enemy collision, right? So like enemy, maybe? Enemy, no. Ooh, it's in our play state. Enemy. Player to enemy. Okay, here we go. So enemy top collides. Okay, it's a capital C, which is why we weren't finding it. So if we're looking for if an enemy bottom collides, what our DY gets to be, and right now we're setting it to be the opposite of what our DY is, which I think is too much. We can set it to an amount that is constant, like, I don't know, negative 0.5 or something, and maybe that is okay. Enemy bottom collides with player 1 colon enemy bottom collides with our vulture 1. Okay, so it's like player 1 bottom enemy bottom collides. See, my naming scheme is pretty messed up on that, but I think this is it. What I'm gonna do is kind of yank this and paste it as a backup, and then just say, hey, what if we replace this with a negative 0.5? So like, let's see what a negative 0.5 gets on our collision here. So anytime we top collide with a vulture here, that wasn't it, but okay. Fuck. You know, it's like we need a bounce. We need to bounce off of it. Okay. That seemed like it just bounced up and it wasn't too much. My game's getting real laggy, y'all. Shit, man. Okay, so I know we want to make it so that it's like the original, and if you have 0 lives, you can still play. It's laggy, right? It's laggy up on this end. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna remove our high score. And then I'm gonna make it so that we don't end our game until there's less than 0 lives. So if we go to our play state here, we're gonna say lives is equal to, and it's lives is equal to, and if lives is 1, we're going to decrement game over to true. So if by the time we die and we only have 1 lives, so we're going to change this to 0. And then we're going to say otherwise we subtract a life. So if we have 1, we're going to subtract a life and it gets us to 0. Let's see if that works. So it's getting real laggy for some reason. I mean, it's probably because I'm running a video game, recording OBS, streaming OBS, and Sonic Pi programming. That's probably why it's jacked up, but don't you go, don't you do it, don't you do it. Okay. So I'm looking for, oh God, once I'm gonna die on purpose. As I'm looking for, we should be able to get 0 lives and still play at 0 lives based on, ooh, not quite. If lives is greater than 0, we're gonna say greater than -1. Greater than -1, then we go ahead and respawn. Otherwise, we're gonna set our lives to 0. Maybe that's it? Just guessing at this point. I shouldn't be guessing. I should be more methodical about this. Let's just die. Okay. Okay. We should be able to live this. Yes, so we have 0 lives we're able to live. And if we die from here, we should have 0 lives. Oh, we still get that flashy 0 lives. What's going on? Okay, let's just look through this. Okay, so if we're exploded and we finished our explosion timer, we're gonna reset our tarot, which is fine. Reset our tarot timer. Now, if our lives are 0, we're gonna go ahead and, yeah, we don't need to do that. If our lives is 0, we're going to go ahead and say lives is equal to 0. Oh. Yeah. Lives is equal to 0. And then otherwise, we're going to decrement our lives. Okay. And then if our lives is greater than else. Okay, if our lives is greater than 0, then we're going to go ahead and respawn us. Otherwise, our lives are equal to 0. That might be it. So let's die here. I don't know why it's all laggy all of a sudden. See, we die at 0. We shouldn't die at 0. We should, if our lives is smaller than 0, no. Let's see. I didn't mean to kill that guy. Oh god. I didn't mean to win that wave. Okay, so we're looking for, by the time we're at 0 waves, 0 lives, that we're able to play when we have 0 lives. But once we die at 0 lives, then it's game over and our lives are still at 0. Okay. We don't respawn. We don't respawn. What the fuck's going on? Okay. Our lives is smaller than 0. We're going to go ahead and become, okay. Otherwise, we're going to decrement our lives. If our lives is greater than or equal to 0, that's the problem. Then we're going to go ahead and respawn. So let's give that a shot. Let's go ahead and change our lives to just be 1 so we can see. Lives. We're going to change that to be 1 and then run it and then see if by the time we die we can still play with 0 lives. Okay. And then if we die with 0 lives, it's game over, and it's not game over. So we need to make sure it's game over by the time we do this. So if lives is equal to 0, if lives is smaller than 0, if lives is equal to 0 by the time we die, then we're going to go ahead and hit game over to true. Let's try that. So we got 1 life, so if we die once, it should give us 0 lives, and then we should be able to continue to play. Okay, and then if we die here, we should have 0 lives, and it should be game over for 3 seconds before our high score state. Game over, 1, 2, 3, high score state, cool, and then we can play again. I think that's right. I think that's right. Is there anything else we can do today? I want to add this note saying because I didn't know that was the case until we played today. So we've got, this is our list of things to add before we're done with the game, but they're all kind of, what do you call it? Optional. So add pause for egg placement, egg wave text first, then egg wave placement. That's more accurate to the original. Functionalize egg wave spawns. We don't have to do that, just optional. Tweak player to vulture top collision. We actually did that. So we can go ahead and put that up here. Ensure tarot doesn't deinstantiate when player 1 dies in 2-player mode. I do want to fix that before we're done, so I'll put that down here. Ensure hunters are inheriting faster DX when bounders instantiating. We do have that, so I'm pretty confident in removing that. Put tarot inits into update function, not in wave function. Totally taste. We don't have to do that. Come up with a better way to check if all enemy objects hatched. Not true. Ensure vultures have a mid-air bonus in wave 2. I don't know why they wouldn't. I don't know why I added this, but maybe. Dummy initialization function implement. We don't have to do this. Add portal sound on vulture. We did this. Portal sound on vulture spawn. We do in fact have this. Player moves when standing on a vulture spawn point. Do we want to change this? I don't think we do. I think that's okay. Need to assess which ostrich collisions can be moved in the class itself to tidy up playstate code. Optional again, but sees player 2 spawns if game over. I don't want game over to be true if player 2 still has lives. So maybe we change this into being in 2-player mode. Don't game over until both players out of lives. Oh, what just happened? Dude. What just happened? Out of lives. Okay. Now, test game over for player 2 mode. We do need to do that still. Add proper high score amounts. I mean, we've got high score amounts. I don't know if they're proper, quote unquote, but we do have them. Test game over for 2-player mode. Death in egg wave advances wave. That's what we want to check. We can just decide that we're okay with dying in an egg wave. Lets you go ahead and egg wave advance. Try and find source of the butt pixel for player 1. That's a tough one to find. I have a feeling it's a computer processing issue, but I'm not really sure. Ensure tarot doesn't instantiate when player 1 dies in 2-player mode. We definitely want to do that. Okay, so I think in terms of what we definitely want to do, I don't know why we have that. We don't really need to do that. This is what we definitely want to do. And this is what we definitely want to do. So I think I want to say this is optional. And then I'm going to say that this is next episode. So next episode, we're going to be ensuring that the pterodactyl doesn't deinstantiate when player 1 dies in 2-player mode. We're going to be... my green screen looks bad over here, huh? We're going to be making sure we don't game over in 2-player mode until both players lose all their lives. And then that's part of this last one, which is just test game over for player 2. So we'll do that as well next episode. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's look up at our git diff. We got a bunch of notes, which doesn't really count for much. We added all of our actual high score updates, which is kind of cool. Let's change our lives back to 5. We made it so that we can keep playing at lives is equal to 0. So I'm going to make sure our lives are back equal to 5 in our play state. So lives is equal to 5. We're going to go, not what I wanted. Lives is equal to. And then give us 5 lives here. So we're going to do that and then call it a day. So I'm going to add everything to the staging area with a commit message saying added proper high scores for leaderboard table. Leaderboard table. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing that player 2 fixes. And then we're done. I mean, it's not perfect, but no game's perfect. We just got to ship it, you know? Like, I've got 25 waves. I got a high score state. I've got 2-player mode. Got the attract mode. I'm not sure what else I want to add, so I think we're good. So, thanks for watching. Tomorrow we're going to be doing those last fixes. Maybe we can finish in that 1 episode. Maybe it'll take 2 more episodes till we're happy with it. It's a little more hands-on for programming to debug some of these complex things, but we're so close to being done, guys. We're so close. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for tomorrow for our last kind of either tomorrow's going to be our last episode or the next day for our joust. We can always come back and fix more things, but I've pretty much added everything I want to add for this game, so we're just about done. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.